Hello everybody, Neda and Jupiter here from Space A with another episode of our friendly conversation. Today we have Fabienne Francotte from Belgium. She was our artist last year and she will be our guest again. So please say hello, Fabienne.
Hi everybody. So she said I'm a Belgian artist. Well, I'm temporarily based in Belgium because I'm stuck while coming back from Sri Lanka on a trip that should have been 2 months. I'm here since mid-July, and I'm just waiting to return to Colombo, where I have a big studio waiting for me, and a gallery and projects in this part of the world, where as here I don't have any, because for the moment I'm not belonging, let's say, to Belgium. So I have a studio because I have a home here too. I have an apartment, but it has been like being punished while being like far away from all the projects I have in Sri Lanka, or I mean the one I still have with Nepal is to exhibit the work I did a year ago. So I have a plane ticket to go to Kathmandu that is waiting for me too.
So first, I forget to say Happy New Year, Fabienne.
Yeah, thank you. Happy to you too, to all of you.
Thank you. Thank you. So, as you said, lots of things changed right now. But what you are doing now in this pandemic, quarantine, and everything all together, what exactly you are doing? Like every day, what you are doing?
What am I doing every day? Well, things that I wasn't doing before, like working every day, even if it's not something very important. I'm trying to stay focused, because I think work is the only remedy against this disorder, and we are all suffering from the same. Well, now you have artists that feels like at home in the studio, locked and being in a bubble. Well, I don't consider the studio like this, because I'm not that kind of artist. I need the people. I'm connected with them, and all my projects are about them. So for me, it was quite complicated to be back. The good thing is that I concentrated myself on what I could take advantage of being here, which is going to the museum, and there is not only one, there are many, and they are open. I mean, on schedule. You have to book, like like you go to somewhere, you have to say that you're gonna be there. And so I spend a lot of time to go to exhibitions, to not meet any artist, but to reflect about what are the things that are made here, and what it makes so different to live where you live on that continent. What is it that the energy is very different between Asia or the Indian continent and here. So my work became more intellectual than emotional. So I took advantage to read a lot. I went back to calligraphy because I think it was a way to say things that I can't say in another way. And so this was a surprise, because I haven't been using these kind of stains and marks on the paper for a long time now, for almost 10 years. And by going back to these texts, I was also going back to trying to put words about my work. What am I doing? Where am I going? And what's the message? To get rid also of this frustration without being, I mean, a horrible person with the ones who, who live who live with you, because I mean it's like a war zone, because we are all locked and all the time, 24 hours with the same people. So so in fact, I left a bit of these emotions linked to the people to go to the reflection side, and to, I think the loneliness created another space. And instead of getting bored in that space, it was like to find a way to live with it and make it something positive. Because I mean, also because I'm more than 60, it's like I have a timer, and I hate to lose time. And then all of a sudden it was like everything is frozen. And I'm an action lady, let's put it this way. So I tried to be a military girl in my studio. But yeah, to fight again also against that nomadic life. It's difficult when you change continent, when you change cultures and habits. I mean, it's uncomfortable. And then I also try to take advantage of that uncomfortable zone and make it happen. It's a good exercise. It's the same like the first day I arrived at Space A. It was like I was out of my studio, out of my world, and like no material, and like what am I going to do here? It was a bit the same when I came back here.
So, you know, as you said, some artists are getting all the positive energy from people. So some, to be creative, we need people, we need to go outside. There are some
we
other
need
people.
stories, we need narratives,
Exactly.
we need to watch the others.
So, but it's good that you find the positive side as of this situation as well. So you cannot do that instead of sitting and being angry and be crazy and go outside and be infected. You just make it like how I can use this time, right? And
Yeah,
as
and
you
also I
said,
did
you
a
are,
lot of,
please.
yeah, go on.
No, I was mentioning that you are more artists in Sri Lanka than in your own country,
yeah,
because you spend
yeah,
lots of time. Yeah, exactly like me. Here, I know art, I know artists, but in Iran, I know nothing about the art. So that is also a little bit interesting. But now you are forced to be an artist in Belgium.
yeah,
That is
it's
the
like
challenge, right?
yeah, sure. And it has also an impact, I'm sure, about my work. So I tried to describe, also to draw that empty space we are living in. It's difficult to describe or to translate something that is empty, and not only the space, but
Yeah.
most of the time we are also empty. While during the lockdown in Colombo, which was I mean, a real lockdown, like not going out anywhere. It was 9 weeks of being locked, and at that time I was just looking for the studio, but we were with friends, so it's just like changing, yeah, all the rules. Now the contact I have also with you, with my gallery, Saskia Fernando in Colombo, the community of local artists over there, makes my life also possible here, because they are taking care of my work. They made me also talk online, and it's like every 2 months something is happening. Now I hope to return by the end of this month. It should be okay regarding the visa procedure, and then I will stay there.
Okay.
I also developed with one. Hi, Jupiter.
Hello. So, how was the situation in Sri Lanka in the beginning time of the pandemic? And how do you feel your responsibility, social responsibility, as you were working most of your projects were deal with the social issues and fully and emotionally attached with local people. How do you feel your responsibility, and
You
how
know,
was it?
it took time to be part of a community you don't belong.
Mm-hmm.
So it was. I reached Sri Lanka in 2016,
Mm-hmm.
and I got my first exhibition beginning of 18. Then I think it took another full year till almost the end of our posting at that time. At the, well, like a year ago in Nepal, to be recognized, to be accepted, to make the choice personally to come back and to stay in Sri Lanka, and to continue the project. It takes time, and of course I'm not local, but I'm part of a community, and I work with them also. It takes time also to enter into another country's culture and to depict it, to describe it, to come with narratives that are related to these people. And I think after 4 years, I can say now that I'm part of it. So that's why I don't want to invest here, because it's like not only my heart, but I mean, my work is over there.
Yeah, there is looks like you need to start from scratch, like it's nothing there and you need to create everything again. But in Sri Lanka you already make something there.
Yeah, I made it happen, and I'm recognized as an artist based in Sri Lanka. So this is important, and I'm connected with them. I mean, not daily, but let's say weekly. We talk together. I watch the talks of the others. I mean, it's. I'm also in contact with Bangladesh through Urmi, and what we did together about the Rohingya community and that workshop in the camps. I mean, there was a project in the road to do something, an exchange with the Fine Art Institute in Dhaka that is also stuck. And I mean, all the residencies are also very difficult. I had two that I already missed in Sri Lanka. So it's, I think we have to be planning the things differently, because I also think that this pandemic is only the number one. We have been behaving very badly with animals, with the world, and we are paying the price.
So that was, you came to talk about the thing that I was going to ask you next. What exactly you learned from this pandemic? I think it teaches us a lot in each and every your point of view we learn, but it's very good to hear somebody else's point of view. So that's why I'm asking you to share with all of us what you learned during these days.
Well, then we'll have to go back, because I'm not going to talk about politics, and I hate it. And I stopped watching the news and reading the newspaper. And I have a husband who is dealing with politics, who is only telling me the not too bad news and the good news. But if we go back on the timeline, I was born end of the 50s. So I grew up as a little girl in a country that was not even, there was the center of Europe, but we were not talking about being a group of countries united. So between the 60s, the 70s, these were just crazy years after Second World War. Everybody was so happy to be alive and to learn and to make it happen and to move forward. So then came the most craziest 80s. But then in the middle of the 80s, we got these AIDS. I mean, that disease that appeared, and we were just making love and just opening the doors to the world and traveling and learning more and more about the neighbors. And then came other wars that we were not, I was not, I will speak about me, I was affected by them, but it was not next door. And then we built so many rules in Europe that at the end, there was a construction of many protections, laws, but at the same time, a reduction of freedom that I found in Asia. People in Asia can still survive because the neighbors will help, will give food, and there is a solidarity we lost. We grew up as individualists. And by being individualists who always think that they can decide for themselves and many times for the others in the world, all of a sudden, we are responsible also about all this, the idea of going global and of making it happen like a big connected world. So we are connected, but we are completely disconnected from reality. And I think, well, the disease is a way, if you look, I mean, about many centuries ago, is something that is happening when we cross some borders and we go over the boundaries. There are natural boundaries that we forgot. So now what are we going to do? Well, I'm happy to be an artist because otherwise I would be desperate. But as being an artist, it's like I'm a happy-go-lucky, as we say in English. But at the same time, it's like I'm also isolated because of that. It's I'm not desperate. I mean, I'm a positive person, and I'm going to make it happen in a way or another, and with the others. But the friends are also, and the others are also moving like in another way, in another combination that sometimes I don't recognize them. And it's more complicated to stay close, to have that kind of, sympathy and empathy for what's happening next door. I think we can't forget that. And we did on that marketplace. I mean, we were just shopping everywhere. Now we're punished. We don't even shop. So it's okay.
But you know, as you said, in 60s, 50s, 60s, okay, I was not born then that time, but I think that if something like this was happening that time, it was nothing. But we make ourselves so proud of technology, so proud of our laws, so proud of our, you know,
these were years that they were going too fast.
Exactly. Yeah. And we just lost. We didn't know what to do.
Thinking. Now we have what we call a big mess. And we won't be able to change the rules like that. Let's take your neighbor. If we take Bangladesh, okay, and the garment industry, we can say, okay, we don't go global anymore. Everybody is put the borders again, and we don't make all this trade. But how is Bangladesh going to survive without these people like me here in Europe and in these other world, the Americans and all these people, without buying the stuff? I mean, we can't just go back and say we can't go back. We have to find a way to move forward differently. But this, I will die before we found a solution, because it will take years.
No, but I believe so. Like every individual can change. Like every small step, you know, you learn it that maybe we are very much independent. For example, for some people who are getting so much depressed because they can't go to their yoga class. Okay, now we can learn after 1 year there must be a way. You want to go outside to yoga class, go, but be able to do it in your home as happily as when you are going to your yoga class. Or something very, very small, like if you miss your people, your friend, and we are after pandemic, huh? If you miss your friend, in that same moment, go and meet him or her, because something can happen. You know, very small thing that we learn from this kind of situation. I think every individual, if we change a little bit, we, like during the pandemic, the sky was so clear, so nice. Right now, these 2 last days, the sky of Kathmandu is so polluted, so dirty, that they are saying don't go outside. So
Yeah.
if I don't need my car to come out, I will walk. We saw that blue sky.
No,
Why?
we will adapt, that's for sure. But it will take time.
That's correct.
We
Yeah.
now what we are doing, we are adapting, thinking, tomorrow, not far away, it's gonna be over. But I'm not that so sure. I think it will take another year worldwide to find a vaccination and all that stuff. But we won't be the same after that. So it's, but yeah, we are a sponge, and we can adapt, but it's very difficult, and because we were educated in another way. I was educated like the world was lovely, and the first image that shocked me was, I think, the kids that were dying from hunger, being hungry in a region in Africa that was called Biafra. It was, I remember these pictures on television in the 66 or something like this, when we got TV listening. It's like I'm talking like a grandmother. But I was shocked. I could, as a kid, I couldn't understand why we couldn't help. And also the idea of helping is so with regulations. I mean, what I did in Sri Lanka is that I went alone on the way, like 2 years, to the National Mental Health Hospital, to draw with people twice a week. And there was no NGO, there was just nobody. Just somebody gave me the permission to enter and to do something. And I did the same with the deaf kids in a center in the north of the country. And if we could do things like this individually, but the problem is that, I mean, everybody has to see what you're doing, how you're doing. Do you have the diploma? And hey, listen, it was much more easy before. We have to go back to that, because for me, these are like fences on the way, and we have to get rid of them also. So what else can I tell?
That's correct.
That I get,
Okay, let's see. No. That you get what?
I think what changed in, is that I got more obsessive with recording all these stories of today, because there was one question you were saying, what is the artist's responsibility? So, and you know it, I mean, but the books, I can't carry them because they are too big now. But this is the narratives of only 4 months. These are mine, but at the end of the day, years later, they will be representing a moment in time when it was, I mean, a specific horrible period of time. And I think
as
when
your responsibility, you are going to do
archives of this.
Okay, it means that you are going to produce it, right? You are going
I'm
to
not
produce.
gonna go I mean, these notebooks are personal, okay? It's only Fabienne Francotte in it. I mean, nobody is drawing in it. But all the statements and all what I learned and the thoughts and the marks and the feelings are recorded in there. And I think there is no point to keep all this on a shelf. That's why last year I allowed my gallery to cut 80 pages out of 5 notebooks. Yeah, it was like a kamikaze decision. But at the end, and many people were coming with the questions: how can you give something that are part of your diaries and that is so profoundly you? But I think it's not only me. All the people that inspire me, I mean, are also in it. So why not share it? I think it's like an illustrated book that could be not a novel, but a lookbook and a notebook. So let's see. We need to find a publisher.
So, okay, this is your responsibility as an artist, but as an individual human who is an artist, you know what I mean? I am trying to say what we can do to help or people or you have for sure some colleagues, some students, some
Yeah, I give workshops. I give workshops.
Okay.
Yeah, this is also, and as being a next language teacher, I mean, teaching for me is easy, and it's also something that I loved so much. But it's much more easier to make your art move when you are full-time dedicated to it. But the workshop is also part of my practice, because by sharing with people, and I'm not giving any drawing lessons, and I'm not showing anything. I'm just inviting them to think about something I'm coming with and to express themselves. And by talking and observing, we are moving to a surprise. And in this surprise, there is a kind of good feeling that is incredible. We should organize one in Nepal when I'll be there for the exhibition. I can stay a bit longer and we can make something as we did in with the Rohingya, where we could not even talk. But
you don't need the language. Art is a language.
Art is a language.
Yeah.
And
so
it's
you know, there is lots of statistics coming from Europe, you know, mainly. We in Asia, they are not that much into statistics, but in Europe, there are lots of statistics that they are saying people are mentally weak. So they get started to drink.
We are, because
use
the idea is that we grew up with the idea of being free.
Yeah.
We can decide whether we go there or there, that we stay there, work there. I mean, it's like we were travelers. And now we are locked, and not only locked, I mean, we are locked with our beloved ones. And I mean, if we can't go for work, we can't have money. So up to now, Europe, I can just tell you about Europe, we remained quiet and peaceful. But I mean, people are going bankrupt. I mean, they are selling their house, their home. I don't know where they go. Up to now, nobody's talking about that. Not even between friends. But I've never helped, money-wise, so many people in my life. And not because they are asking me, it's because I come with the question like, do you need some help? Not psychological help, but just, I mean, just sending money and or buying a piece of art that I was not planning to buy, but to make swaps, but to send money. Because I think that's the key of the problem. And also here, I mean, I grew up with a mommy at home. But our kids don't grow up with the parents at night and during the holiday. So now all of a sudden, also the how do you say that? The nuclear is the family. But family can be hell also, huh? When you don't, you can't face that. So I mean, it's a whole. I think we have more changes than any other people, and that's why it's so complicated. And we hate. Well, I mean, we hate rules. Europeans, I mean, they have many difficulties to respect rules. Can you believe this? This is, I mean, nonsense.
Yeah, that is the thing that it was shocking. Like, people are more in Europe, people hate rules than in Asia. In Asia,
it's
people
difficult to
follow.
understand because we build the rules.
Yeah.
To protect ourselves, but we can't. You know what? It's like, I mean, how do you use in democracy? You have to use the freedom. But democracy is only one way. How do you use the freedom? Maybe after 13 years, it doesn't correspond to your idea of freedom. And I mean, this freedom, you have to organize it. And without rules, it's called anarchy. So maybe we went too far. I don't know, honestly, I don't know. And maybe me being a teacher, I was confronted with that in the class, with the kids. You give a rule and they don't respect it. You enter a class in Sri Lanka and Jesus, I mean, there's respect. I mean, they want to learn, they just listen to you. Well, sometimes, I mean, it's difficult to talk or to express or to dare to take the microphone. But at least there is a respect between the people, which sometimes here in school, I mean, nobody wants to be a teacher anymore. No, but it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
And I mean, it requires a lot of energy and a lot of power. I mean, psychological power. And also you have to be dedicated, passionate, and you have to be better than them. And you have to be honest. So there are many qualities for being a teacher.
So this is our conversation is going to be end. So we
thank you so much.
But let me ask you the last one. No, the last one. Okay. Are you going to have the vaccine or not? This is very, very personal question. But are you? Is there available? Not you as a person. That is your own choice, right? But
no,
is it available right now?
We have one in Europe. They started with the old people. First phase, but first the old people above 65. No, I'm a lucky one.
You're not old. You're not old.
The second group are the medical care people. And then after that, they will vaccinate also the people that are at risk, like people in bad health, people with cancer and all that stuff. So I think about me, it would be like next September. Now, shall I go to get the vaccine if I can have
September.
It
so
now?
It's a long way.
Personally, no. No, because for me, it's too early. We don't know the side effects. I mean, we don't know anything, and I don't want to be the guinea pig.
Yeah, okay.
So I prefer to stay at home, wash my hands 10 times. For the time being, now if you tell me that if I reach Asia, I will have the Russian one, no, then I'll take this one.
Okay, be healthy, stay healthy. Thank you so much. We'll see you very soon.
Thanks, Peter.
Hope you better year, 2021, it's better.
I hope we meet. We have a plan to meet.
Yeah,
also.
Sure. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Lots of love. Bye-bye.